Saturday, February 11th is the Super Bowl for this year's NFL season. The Kansas City Chiefs versus the San Francisco 49ers. And this video will be a little bit of a preview of that and seeing which team do I think is going to take it home. A lot of the time, the best teams in the league usually go head to head for these type of games, but I don't think Kansas City played particularly well for most of the season, as was said through talk shows, media outlets. The team themselves, they knew that they could do better, which is why I think they've gotten so far as they did. This Chiefs team is just ready for it. They're a playoff team for sure. As long as they could get a winning record and get into the playoffs, they're a candidate for the Super Bowl. And it's a scary sight because no team wants to play the Chiefs, even though they had somewhat of a down year this year. They You don't want to play this team in the playoffs at all. Baltimore Ravens, who's unfortunately my team, it was probably the strongest team in the NFL during the regular season, got cooked. Got cooked. And at times they looked like they could be in it, but overall they kind of didn't stand a chance. And this team, regardless of, their team not being complete or missing pieces or underperforming, they pull through. When you have one of the best coaches in NFL history and you have one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history, then a lot of things are possible. The Chiefs are going to rely on four players on the offensive side of the ball, which is Mahomes, Rice, Kelsey, and Pacheco. Those four players are the ones that are going to put points on the board. I don't think they have to worry much about the defense. It's been a top 5 defense for the whole season. And although San Francisco is a very, very good offense, top 5 offense, I do think the Chiefs play well against other top offenses. Against the Ravens, they played well. Against the Bills, they defended very well as well. And so, I think this will be a tougher game for them for sure, but it's around the same thing, and they have a very good pass defense. And so I think Kyle Shanahan is going to have that in the back of his mind a little bit. We do know the capabilities of 49ers, which we will get into in a little bit, but I do think the Chiefs just have to focus on the offensive side of the ball. And if they could put points on the board, then I do think it's going to be a good game for them.
I know they beat the Ravens in the AFC Championship game, but if there's a game to show of this season on how to beat the 49ers, it's their game against the Ravens. The Ravens killed them in every aspect of the ball. And I think, coincidentally, it was Brock Purdy's worst game of the year. I do think that the Chiefs could emulate it a little bit and probably do just as good, to be honest, as the Ravens performed against the 49ers. If they want to win that game, I think the defense has to be physical. They have to attack their quarterback. They have to be relentless on every play, as well as Mahomes. We know that he should be fine for the most part. He's going to do what he does in the playoffs, as he always has been doing. But yeah, I think particularly on defense, they have to be really physical, really ready to play, and be able to just shut anything down, whether it's on the ground or in the air.
This team knows how to win games. They know that they have to have convincing drives that eat the clock when needed. They know how to make game-winning plays because they got players in the positions that are needed to make those plays. And of the four that I named are coincidentally the four that have had the better season in the offense for the Chiefs. What sucks about this team is that it's a dynasty that had somewhat of a down year, and yet they look more fired up than ever. They look like they want to win this more than any other Super Bowl almost, which sucks because this seemed like the chance to somewhat take Chiefs out of the question in terms of them winning another Super Bowl. But the teams couldn't pull their weight, and the Chiefs, defying some odds, I don't want to say all, because some people did have the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl or going far, but those talks about them being a dysfunctional team and not
having a great offense just kind of fired them up, and it gave them, I think, a bad taste in their mouth, to be quite frank, because, as a player, when you're giving it your all and you know the capability of your team, and when it's not working out, it doesn't feel great. And so that continuous work and belief that they had in themselves that they could pull through and go far, I'm pretty sure is what got them here. I think I think they're gonna have a great game. Fortunately, as you can tell, I'm rooting for the 49ers. I like seeing different winners, personally. Dynasties, I'm not really a fan of. I just admire the ability to win so many championships, but that's about it, to be quite frank. But looking at the San Francisco 49ers, although they are, I'd say, one of the top three best teams in the league, not just on record, but as well on roster, they have players everywhere. It's going to be interesting in the next few years to see how they, have to dismantle some places or players get traded, or how the team changes. But for right now, they definitely have the best roster in the NFL, both on defense, both on offense. They have players that are capable of making game-winning plays. I think if the 49ers want to win this game, they cannot turn the ball over in terms of offense. If they if Purdy is able to keep the turnovers low, if he's able to make accurate throws, I don't think he has to go far. He could just make short 5 to 10 yard passes, or even just 5 yard passes to just progressively go up the field. Um, then I don't think that the 49ers lose this game, to be quite frank. Obviously, we know how the Chiefs are going to defend, and with the ball in the air, they are great at defending that. But we do know the 49ers have the best running back in the league, and Christian McCaffrey, and they're going to use him so much. I do think he's a guaranteed touchdown. He's a guaranteed 6 points, which is, for me, this is a different topic, but for me, he's my NFL MVP. Even being a Ravens fan and seeing how well Lamar Jackson has been. But um, no one does it better than him. And I do think that they're going to use him a lot. They're going to have a lot of that dual threat of running the ball and being able to pass as well. They'll probably go to running a little bit more to, burn down the game, but passing will obviously be used, as Purdy has done very well. They have the receivers and Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel, so they'll be able to use those guys and be able to really progress up the field. When looking at it on paper, I do think the 49ers should win this game. Obviously, the game isn't played on paper, it's played on the field, but they, as well as the Chiefs, look fired up for it. They look like they really want to get some revenge from that 2019 Super Bowl where they lost, and haven't gotten back since. And it's been a 5 year wait, which time flew by, to be quite frank. I personally didn't feel like it was 5 years, but looking back on it, it's been a long time. And the players look like they're fired up. They want to win their Super Bowl. The 49ers have had pretty good seasons, I'd say, in the last 10 years. And so I'm rooting for them personally, because I think it's a great bunch of guys, great coach. This team, I think it's hard to hate, to be quite frank. And quite frankly, this is their best opportunity they're going to have, I'd say, because the Chiefs are only going to get stronger, I'd say. I don't think they have another low year like this year. If they do, it's a little worrying, in my opinion. But this squad, I think, has a great age. You have players in the positions without really needing anything else. And like I said before, who knows if the squad gets a little dismantled, or players, get transferred or whatever. I think it's the best opportunity that the squad is going to have.
Now it's time for the final prediction in terms of what I think the score will be. The Chiefs versus the 49ers. Have it written down here. And my head and heart say two different things, but I think I'm going to go with my head here. I have the Chiefs winning 27-24. I think it's gonna be a really close game. I think we're gonna be in for a really good Super Bowl. But I do think the 49ers unfortunately lose because the Chiefs just look unstoppable. Although, if the Chiefs were to ever win it, it's now. My heart wants the 49ers to win because I do think the 49ers are an underdog, weirdly, because of how well the Chiefs have performed in this postseason. But it's a flip of a coin, in my opinion, as well. It's 50-50, and if you're siding one team, right now it's quite possibly 51-49 because it's so close. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's a little bit of the preview that I have for this coming Super Bowl. Don't forget to check it out. Check out past videos that I have on this channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Blessings.